So Ubisoft just looked at Siege and said, what if we took the most annoying operator in the game and made her more scarier? Because System Override is here and this season is doing a lot. We got a rework on Dokkaebi and we got the brand new map inspired by Rainbow Six Siege Vegas. We also have rank 3.0 and placement matches are back. Also champion rank changes, operators buff, and mouse and keyboard drama has entered chat. And honestly, some of these balancing updates will actually create ranked nightmares. And before anyone says, yes, we are going to be talking about the exploding fireball that is in this season. So alright, grab your coffee, grab your controller, and grab your suspiciously weird headset from 2019, and let's break down everything that is for this season, which is System Override. Let's start with the star of the season because Ubisoft basically looked at Dokkaebi and said, you know what? Chaos. More chaos. Dokkaebi has been heavily reworked and honestly, she might become one of the scariest attackers in Siege. So first big change is the logic bomb. It's gone. Yep, totally gone, deleted, sent into the tactical recycling bin. Instead, Dokkaebi now gets something called the Jago payload, which comes from the Korean word for elimination. And this thing sounds absolutely evil. Instead of just making your phone scream at the worst possible moment while you're trying to clutch a 1 versus 2 with a little bit of shaky aim and a little bit of emotional damage, Dokkaebi now uploads malware to the enemy's devices that blocks observation tools. But here's the spicy part. The phone explodes. Yes, explodes. The targets carrying the payload take damage and it creates a fire nearby that can also hurt other operators as well. The new ability has more charges, faster cooldowns but shorter duration, which means the timing matters way more than before. This feels less like old Dokkaebi spam and more like strategic pressure. And Ubisoft didn't stop there. Dokkaebi can now access dead enemies' phone remotely, meaning she no longer needs to physically run over and grab them, and that is huge. Because before, half of the time grabbing phones felt like a side quest where you immediately got shot in the forehead. Oh, and she also gets a new rifle, the XK23 assault rifle, designed for mobility and mid-range fights. And fun fact, Dokkaebi isn't even keeping it to herself. The XK23 is also being added to Aurora and Sense, which means Ubisoft clearly wants this gun to become part of the season's identity. Now let's talk balancing, because some of the operators just quietly got terrifying. Let's talk about Gridlock first. So Gridlock basically walks into the room, track stingers are strong, deploy faster, and stepping on them now causes limping for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. That's not crowd control anymore. That's a tactical embarrassment. Kinda like when you jump into a frost mat. You hit the spikes and suddenly your operator walks like they just tried leg day after 3 years. And also the spikes are tougher as well. But Ubisoft slightly reduced the total number of the tracks deployment to balance things off. Then we have Sophia. She is changes from being a 3 health 1 speed to being 2 speed 2 armor now, which is making her more noticeably faster, more flexible. So Sophia mains just quietly sat up in their chairs and yell, finally. Except for that, we also have Nomad, who gets longer air jab detection range, Mossy captures drone from a further distance, and Pulse gets a longer cardiac scan range, and Soulless, she stays active for longer, and Damus gets faster target tracking after identifying enemies. So yeah, Intel operators are eating well this season. But if you're a ranked player, this next part matters the most. So let's talk about it. So okay, ranked grinders, take a deep breath. Ranked is getting a massive overhaul. And Ranked 3.0 removes Hidden MMR, that mysterious invisible number hiding in the basement, gone. Your Ranked is your skill rating. Simple, cleaner, way easier to understand. Matchmaking now considers rank, squad size, time, and location to balance teams. There are also squad restrictions, so players must stay within certain rank gaps, especially at higher levels. So your champ friend can't just collect bronze teammates like a Pokemon anymore. Also, champion rank just got extra sweaty. Ubisoft added champion 1 through champion 5, and the leaderboard now starts from champion 1. That is an elite ranked energy. Like, Ubisoft looked at the top players and said, congratulations, here are even more ways to fight for your bragging rights. And yes, placement matches are back. You will play 5 placement games every season after rank reset, which honestly means the first week of ranked is about to feel like a social experiment, but you enter a matchmaking, but performance from previous seasons still influence placement, so Ubisoft says it won't be a total chaos. Ubisoft is also adding a brand new ranked reward track, and this actually sounds pretty solid. You will earn competitive coins through the season, and also rank specific cosmetics like charms and card backgrounds, and winning counts as 2 matches worth of the progress on the reward track. So basically, winning finally feels extra rewarding instead of just emotionally exhausting. And even if you don't become the next rank demon, there's still an exclusive seasonal headgear you can unlock just by playing, and that's a little nice thank you for surviving ranked reward. Now let's talk about maps, because this season is dropping something that longtime Siege players are probably going to yell about in excitement: Calypso Casino. And yes, it is inspired by Rainbow Six Vegas, which already gives this season nostalgia points. But Ubisoft says this isn't just a lazy copy-paste nostalgia trip, they rebuilt it to fit modern competitive Siege. So here's what changes. You got a new crane for rooftop access, a basement spawn route for scaling upwards, expanded drone vent systems, more vertical play opportunities and counterplay. And if you know Siege, verticality basically means congratulations, the ceiling is now emotional support drywall. The floor is gone, the safety is gone, anchor position is also gone. This map is getting added to the ranked, unranked, quick match, team deathmatch, landmark drill, and clear house. And for anyone wanting to learn it fast, Ubisoft is launching a discovery player list from June 2nd to June 9th that only features Calypso Casino. That playlist is basically Ubisoft saying, please learn the map before blaming your teammates. But you see, what about ranked map pools? Well, they are changing that too. Ubisoft is continuing seasonal rotation and now splitting ranked maps into 3 categories. So you have Pro League maps, seasonal maps, and showcase maps. Pro map stays stable, seasonal maps rotate, and the showcase map get temporary spotlight treatment. So the first showcase map is going to be obviously Calypso Casino, which means Ubisoft really wants people to learn this map. And that's season launch, Calypso Casino enters ranked, while Villa, Skyscraper, Theme Park, and Canal rotates out. And yes, someone in ranked is still somehow going to ask, wait, where did Theme Park go? Meanwhile, Emerald Plains, Canal, and Outback are getting a visual modernization, which means improved lighting, shadows, 4K textures, and updated destruction details, like fancy graphics and typical drywall destruction. So Siege players are eating gourmet this season. So alright, let's address the thing that is absolutely going to start the argument. Mouse and keyboard support on console. So starting mid-season, mouse and keyboard becomes allowed, but only in PC crossplay pool. So before everyone explodes in the comment section, no. Your normal console matchmaking is not suddenly turning into keyboard warfare. Outside those pools, it's still restricted. Ubisoft also says this improves communication because console players are using mouse and keyboard to get text chat access. And custom games now get an input device option, meaning creators and competitive groups can control if they want mouse and keyboard to be allowed. And honestly, that part feels pretty smart. So now, you know when you're playing, you have a teammate who rage quit after losing one round. So Ubisoft remembers that. So abandoned penalties now. So abandoned penalties will now be scaled based on how long you leave the matches instead of a fixed punishment. So if somebody rage quit because they lost a pistol round in Siege, the game is paying attention. And also the matchmaking penalties also scale depending on the behavior tracked in the repetition center. Meaning repeated offenders, you are officially on Ubisoft suspicious little list. This next feature is honestly great for new players, and every week 6 operators will rotate in as a free trial operators. So it's going to be free attackers, free defenders, and they will be playable enlisted in quick match, team match, unranked, ranked, and even in Siege Cup. That's actually huge, because if you're trying to test an operator before spending renown and then immediately realizing, wait, I actually don't like this operator. Then there is training content gets an update as well. So Clearhouse now includes modernized maps and Calypso Casino. Field training expands with Fortress, Canal, Outback, Skyscraper, and Theme Park, plus operators like Asami, Kavira, Echo, and Fenrir, which basically means warming up before rank got a whole lot better. Now for the competitive crowd and the people who randomly becomes esport analysts at 2 AM after one rank win, Siege is getting a more connected esport tab. Ubisoft is adding a dedicated tier 1 team page directly in-game, meaning stats, information, and competitive details are easier to find. So now when somebody says, "Bro, trust me, this strat comes from a pro play," you can actually go and check. Also, Siege Cup players are getting some love too. There is a new history section showing your previous tournaments, including maps, teams, and bracket. And honestly, that is kinda cool. Because after a tournament disaster, you can now revisit your mistake like a tactical museum. While waiting between Siege Cup matches, players can also jump into Clearhouse to warm up instead of just staring at the menus pretending they are mentally prepared. Alright, cosmetic enjoyers, credit hoarders, and people who somehow own 17 weapon skins for guns they never touch, this season got stuff for you too. Players who already own Dokkaebi will receive 600 credits, and Delta Packs now include a Recall Masterpiece skin for the F2 as well. There's also a new free month membership option joining the existing monthly and yearly subscriptions. Another thing that is coming back yearly is going to be events. So for this year we are going to be having Mute Protocol, Flesh and Metal, and Rigoko return with new weapon cosmetic, while Memento can now be bought directly with R6 credits instead of requiring the whole collection completion first. Which is honestly nice for anyone who looked at the event collection before and went, yeah, absolutely not, my wallet just made eye contact with me. Then we also get a price decrease, dropping to 10,000 renown or 240 R6 credits, making him easier for players to unlock. And finally, System Override gets an exclusive seasonal camo, headgear, and uniform set available through the season. Classic Siege behavior. You tell yourself, I'm only here for the ranked, then suddenly you're staring at cosmetics for 20 minutes. So what's the verdict for System Override? Honestly, this season feels big. You got a reworked Dokkaebi changing the attacker pressure entirely. A very nostalgic but yet modernized map from Calypso Casino, a massive rank overhaul and placement matches and champion divisions. Also operator buff that could shake up the entire meta. and on console, mouse and keyboard entering in a controlled way, and a bunch of quality of life stacked on top of that. This actually feels like one of the seasons where casual player, ranked player, and competitive grinders all get something. But now I wanna know, what are you most excited for? Broken Dokkaebi, Calypso Casino, or Ranked 3.0? Or are you mentally prepared for the placement chaos? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, and of course I will see you on the next one. So stay safe and please answer the phone.